Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Horror Corner. I'm your host, Sean Patrick Gershin, and tonight we are doing a live stream commentary on the horror masterpiece, A Nightmare on Elm Street. And why? Because, of course, we're celebrating the birthday of Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger himself. This guy right here. I know I'm a few minutes early, but just wanted to make sure everything's set up all right here. Let's see, check the volume and stuff. Okay, it's pretty good level. I think I'm good. All right, guys, we're gonna have some fun tonight. I'll probably do some Freddy one-liners and stuff. You know, I'm doing it from my computer tonight, which I haven't done in a while. I was gonna have a stream the other day. I was gonna do Dario Argento's Phenomena, but that didn't work out. Unfortunately, something came up. I couldn't do it. I was on for like 5 minutes. I was like, gotta go. But we're good tonight. We're gonna have a full show tonight, barring like a horrific event or something. We should be good to go. So anyone who wants to join in tonight, grab your controller. I got mine set right just 1 second before the New Line Cinema comes on, you know, when it's got the funky New Line Cinema, like, red letters there. Pretty cool effect. They use that in part 2 as well, I think. But yeah, the original Nightmare on Elm Street is definitely my favorite of the series, by far. I know a lot of people pick part 3, Dream Warriors, and I get that, but oh shoot, is the midnight hour tonight? I didn't know that. This was just kind of random, you know. I just saw online that it was Robert Englund's birthday. I'm like, ooh, I should do a stream or something. So this was random. I wasn't planning on it. I just happened to have some time in my hands tonight. I was like, screw it. But thanks for popping in. Have Cheetah Will View is in the house in the chat there. Or what time is the midnight hour? Is that midnight? If it's midnight, I might pop in for a little bit. Midnight Hours, of course, starring Hobbs Horror and have Cheetah Will View. And he usually has other guests too on there. Sometimes horror celebrities, which is really cool. I've had one horror celebrity so far on my channel, Sandy Johnson. I haven't had anybody else yet, but you never know. I'd love to have a couple more. I thought that went really well, you know. Sandy Johnson was really, really nice, and that's right, you are lost in the horror corner. That's how you did that the other day on your stream. Still a little couple minutes early, 9:30, and a couple minutes yet, but just want to make sure everything's up and running. I think it seems all right. Let me look on my. Let's see. There. Guess it's all right. There I am. I'm gonna turn the volume off. Yeah, it's easy to get lost in the horror corner. So you can bet I'm gonna do some Freddy one-liners on the microphone here. I love doing me some Freddy voice when I can. I'm not as good as like Dave McRae or somebody, but I have fun with it. But we're gonna have a blast tonight. We're celebrating Robert Englund's birthday, horror legend. And I did actually meet Heather Langenkamp, but I haven't met Robert Englund yet, unfortunately. Oh, we got Dylan Mentis reviews. You look a little like Robert Englund in the eyes, so thanks. I take that as a compliment. You're cracking me up. We are mentioning your contest. Oh, are you really? Yes, says we all saw Anthropomantic Fiend won my 800 subscribers contest. Congratulations, Martin, and he got his package. He just got his package. Was it yesterday or today? I saw his video showing off the prizes in the ridiculously huge box. I thought he might find that funny. To buy it in this big ginormous box because I just got an air conditioner for the we just got an air conditioner for the room here. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll use this box to send it. Because it had the posters in there with it, and I thought that would work well, you know. I could put the posters in there, they wouldn't get bent or anything. All right, guys, so it's 9:30. Welcome to the Horror Corner. I'm your host, Sean Patrick Urshan. And tonight we are doing a live stream commentary on the original Nightmare on Elm Street. If Nancy doesn't wake up screaming, she won't wake up at all. Yeah, the original Elm Street by far is my favorite Nightmare on Elm Street film. I think it's an absolute masterpiece. So we're going to be watching one of my favorite horror movies of all time right here. Got Pip in the shirt there, Freddy. Oh yeah, it's Robert Englund's birthday. 72 years young. 72 years young. Yes, Dylan meant this review says the remake is tragic. Yes, it is. So right now we have Cheetah Will View in the comments and Dylan Mentis reviews. Welcome everybody. Thanks for stopping by. If anyone wants to get, we're gonna be starting in a few minutes. If anyone wants to grab their remote control, I got it ready to go here in the Blu-ray. Actually, it's the regular DVD. I got it all ready to go, folks. And I will say one thing: I don't need a Blu-ray because this regular old DVD here sounds fantastic. Like this sounds better than half my Blu-rays, so I don't even need a Blu-ray because this regular old DVD looks great and it sounds amazing. Yeah, it's one of the best sounding DVDs like I've ever heard. And I will say one thing about I love the score of the original Nightmare on Elm Street. It's absolutely incredible. How many times have I seen this movie? Oh, I have no idea. It's a lot. I know I've watched it every single Halloween. I always watch the original Nightmare on Elm Street on Halloween. You need to see a horror corner room tour. Yeah, I might do that sometime. There's not really a whole heck of a lot to see, honestly, but I mean, just my movies, I suppose. Got a pretty decent movie collection. Always building it up, of course. I am definitely have become a movie collector for sure. Of course, I have to show off one of my prized possessions here. Original Nightmare on Elm Street poster signed by Heather Langenkamp. It says, "Don't fall asleep." Yes, I did meet Heather Langenkamp at one of the horror conventions, and she was awesome. Really cool, and this poster is amazing, and I love it. I wish I had Robert Englund's signature on there too. Certainly, if I ever meet him, definitely have him inside this poster. That would be awesome. Have Freddie and Nancy on there. Nancy being one of the greatest final girls of all time. No question about that. Come on. Yeah, yeah, I love that poster. Well, all the posters are really cool, actually. Yeah, the first one's my favorite, though. I love the artwork on that. Hey, we got Coffin Crew in the house. What's going on, dude? Welcome. I'm going to be getting ready in a few minutes to start the original Nightmare on Elm Street. So, anyone want to grab their DVD or Blu-ray or 4K or whatever, be a good time to do so. We're going to have a blast tonight celebrating Robert Englund's birthday. An amazing horror legend, not just from the Elm Street series, from many other horror films, and not just horror, of course. He was in the V series, and I love that. I watched that when it was originally on TV. I love that show, V, The Visitors. Awesome sci-fi television series. I loved it. And he was, of course, like the friendly alien guy. He turned out to be like the only friendly one. Like, and of course, the aliens, when their skin was ripped, you can see that they're lizards underneath. uh, and they came to Earth disguised as humans, but they're obviously they're not. They're lizard people. I love the beginning too, when the spaceships around the Earth. You see them in like different parts of the world. Gigantic mothership, sort of. That's classic sci-fi, man. I love that. And yeah, he had a good role in that, among many other roles, many other great roles he's had. One of my favorite being in why can't I think of it? Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon. He was like Dr. Loomis type character. And the movie's basically kind of a parody of slasher films, but at the same time being a slasher film, like in the vein of Scream, kind of. But it's nothing like Scream, but it's funny and it's kind of a parody on slashers, like Scream was. And if you haven't seen Behind the Mask yet, you absolutely must see that. That's a great movie. I say it's just as good as Scream. And I love Scream. I do love Scream. And speaking of Scream, this the same director, Wes Craven. The horror master, Wes Craven. In his finest film, I think, The Nightmare on Elm Street. A lot of people might argue with that. I mean, he had a lot of great films. Of course, you had Last House on the Left, The Hills Have Eyes. List goes on and on. Shocker, Deadly Blessing, Deadly Friend, the two deadlies. Of course, Scream. That was probably his Well, Scream and Nightmare on Elm Street are his 2 biggest of, definitely. I mean, of course, he gave birth to the horror icon Freddy Krueger, um, who I'd say is the biggest icon in horror history, you know? I mean, you could say Michael or Jason or you could go back to the Universal monsters, the Wolfman, Frankenstein, but to me, I think Freddy is the most universally well-known character in horror. Everybody knows Freddy and Nightmare on Elm Street and all that. Everybody knows. Not everybody knows, they may know Halloween as a series, but they don't really necessarily know Michael Myers as a character. Um, they might know Jason, but they don't know Jason as part of the Friday 13th franchise, maybe. All the horror fans know, but regular people, casual, regular people, I just said. All right, guys, so let's get ready. Oh, we got the late horror show in the house. What's going on, dude? Dino in the house tonight. We got the Coffin Crew, Dylan Mentes reviews, and have Cheetah Will View in the house. Part of the Midnight Horror podcast. And yeah, we're gonna have a great time. Hey, Movie Massacre, what's going on, man? How's it going? Yeah, baby, we're getting ready to watch A Nightmare on Elm Street from 1984, the masterpiece directed by Wes Craven. And yes, to me, this is like a 5-star masterpiece. This is one of the greatest horror movies ever, in my opinion. It's almost a perfect film, except the last frame, that last little scene is what keeps it from being perfect, you know. Just wish they spent a little bit more time on that, you know, perfected that ending, spent a little more money on that budget. Drinking out of the Sean Ocean cup and getting ready for this. It's good, man. It's all good. Right here in Massachusetts, where it's 90 degrees today. Whew, it's a blistering hot day. I was out there. Um, yeah, I was out there doing the lawn and the 90-degree weather, sweating my ass off. Probably have a little sunburn. All right, guys, shall we get ready? Gonna pop on the movie. So I got it right at the black screen just before it says New Line Cinema. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Bam. Here we go. A Nightmare on Elm Street from 1984. Yes, we are celebrating the legendary Robert Englund's legacy with this amazing film and this incredible opening right here. Isn't this amazing the way they do this? When he grabs the glove and you hear him like, and he's putting the glove together, hammering the nails. It's so eerie. It's so brilliant, man. His filthy, dirty hands and the rusty ass razor blades. Um, he must have taken shop, you know. Well, we know he worked in the boiler room, but he must be a pretty good shop class, creating this deadly weapon, the glove from hell. Do 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 do. I better turn that sound down. Don't want any want my video to be taken down. Yo, 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 horror metal in the house. Hellhound. from the Horror Metal channel. What's up, man? Hey, if you wanna come join in, I could send you the link if you want. I love that. And you see the lamb running across. That's freaky. That's so perfect with Freddy's voice. And this scene is so eerie with Tina on this whole nightmare sequence in the boiler room. So awesome the way they shot that. With that brilliant soundtrack in the background. It's so eerie. It's just perfect. You know, the lighting, it's so dark. The steam from the boiling pipes there and the thank you, Cheetah. I appreciate that. I had all kinds of people in the chat tonight. We had the Late Horror Show, Coffin Crew, Movie Massacre, Horror Metal from Hellhound from the Horror Metal channel. And while Movie Massacre and Horror Metal are here, we're going to be having a show come out where we talk all about our favorite metal tunes in horror. Right? Right, guys? That's going to be cool, huh? Tina! You knew I had to do that. I love when he pops up behind her. The fire burning in the background. Man, it would be so great. If I had good internet, I would request to join. Loving the tea. Thank you. Freddie in the house. Gotta represent. Some dream, judging from that. Either you gotta cut your fingernails or you gotta stop that kind of dreaming. One or the other. Yes, it's gonna be an awesome show. Yes. By the way, everybody check out all these great channels. People that are in the chat tonight, check out Late Horror Show, check out the Movie Massacre Show, check out Horror Metal, Have Cheetah Will View. Check out all these great channels, guys. Yeah, I had to make up tonight for a stream I was going to do the other day. I was going to do a stream on Dario Argento's Phenomena, and I got about 5 minutes into it, and I had to go do something. I couldn't do it. But that's what happens sometimes when you do impromptu. I've face tracked the 3 of us in bands. Nice! I can't wait to see that. What band am I in? I'm curious now. Here's where they find out they're having, like, kind of the same dream or whatever. And there's Johnny Depp in this. I believe this was his first film role, if I'm not mistaken. Johnny friggin' Depp plays Nancy's boyfriend in the film. Nancy, played by Heather Langenkamp, one of the best final girls of all time. And now Glenn and Tina. I'm sorry, Glenn and Nancy are going over to Tina's house to, spend the night with her. Because she's kind of freaking out. She's having these horrible nightmares, so they want to be good friend to her and watch her friend. I like this scene when Johnny Depp's playing the tapes of the weird, crazy sounds and trying to mess with his aunt on the phone because he doesn't want to really go over there. So he like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. There's all this stuff going on about there's people screaming and weird noises and police sounds on the radio on the old school boom box. Look at that thing. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the 1980s with the cassette tape in the boom box. Also, I met Amanda Wyss at one of the conventions. She looks great. Like I was like shocked. I was like, wow, better than she did in the original Nightmare on Elm Street. She looked kind of sexy, actually. I dreamed about a guy in a dirty red and green sweater. What about the fingernails? He scraped his fingernails along things. Actually, they're more like finger knives or something, but they made a horrible sound. Screech! You dreamed about the same creep I did. And you can tell that Johnny Depp's character did too, that he's having the same nightmares, but he never admits it. He notice like the look on his face when they start talking about it, and he's like, you know, yeah, he subbed to cheat on Coffin Crew. Good, good, good. Ah, nice. See, got you guys a couple subs there. Thank you, Hellhound from the Horror Metal channel. Really freaking cool, dude. He loves metal. He loves horror. The two of the greatest things in life. Heavy metal and horror. Hey, David's horror. What's going on, dude? Welcome to the horror corner. Is where we get to meet Rod Lane, Tina's kind of crazy boyfriend, who they kind of allude to possibly being the killer. That's right, man. Two of the best things ever. And you could tell Rod and Tina have a little bit of a rocky relationship, so that it's kind of alluded to that maybe Rod killed Tina. Obviously nobody sees Freddy, except them in their dreams. Except in this world, if you die in your dreams, you die for real. We got her mother's bed. You guys got the rest. don't leave me alone with this lunatic. Freaking love this movie. I could almost recite it. I've had to have seen this movie about, I don't know, 200 times. Why is she so bothered by a stupid nightmare? I've been watching this movie since the 80s. Let's put it that way. Along with all the other Elm Street movies. This one I watch much more than the others, though. It's just like perfect horror movie to put on when you want to watch a horror movie. This is a perfect movie to put on. It's just got everything. It's scary, it's dark, it's um, you got the teenagers, so you can relate to it. Everybody remembers when they were a teenager, and the concept of a killer stalking you in your dreams, and, I can relate to that because I used to have nightmares all the time when I was a kid, and I wake up with, like, the sweats and, Yeah. No, and a lot of times I'd be getting chased by some killer, and the killer is about to kill me, and then, wake up sweating and freaking out. That's one of the reasons why I can relate to this movie so much. I'm sure a lot of people can. Guys can have nightmares too. You ain't got a corner on the market or something. Oh, here we go. This classic scene with Nancy in the bed, and he's coming through the wall with the. That's so cool, man. Like how he pops the cross off the wall. Symbolic, I tell you. Evil entity knocking the cross off the wall. This is the movie that made me a horror fan, says David Horror. Really? Nice. That's a perfect introduction into horror, isn't it? The scene's freaking awesome. Tina. What's your favorite death scene in this film, huh? He's got to be the Tina, right? And this whole scene, the build up to the kill is great too. The chase and the David Tar says I was 7 or 8 when I saw this. Who do you think you are? Whoever you are. There he goes, coming through the wall, and his face is coming through the wall. Which they tried to replicate in the remake, and it's less effective. In 2010, they did a better job in 1984, for Christ's sake. Seriously, it looked fake. It looked pretty real, It still holds up pretty well, that effect, I think. I'm not gonna say every effect in this movie holds up, but a lot of them do. Oh, yeah. Oh, what song was that Johnny Depp was in, Into the Great Wide Open, right? Freddy in this one in part still scares me when I watch them alone. I love the background music. Oh, yeah, it's the best. Brilliant score. That's why I listen to this score on my iPod. That's how much I love it. This whole scene is so great. Let me see the garbage cap roll down. It's so great, the atmosphere in this scene right here. Come to Freddy. Oh God. This is God. Freaking awesome. Stretching his like arms, elongating, stretching out like 10 feet long arms, scraping the side of the barns there. This is God. That may be one of the best shots of Freddy right there. Charles Bernstein, yes, did the score. Yeah, awesome, incredible. I don't think any of the other films have that good of a score, not even close to me. I mean, yeah, you could say Dream Warriors has a cool like rock songs in it, but as far as the score goes, this is a fantastic horror score. It's brilliant, you know. There's so much little things going on in the background, like eerie sounds. Hell yeah, I think it fits in the movie perfectly. It says movie massacre. I love when she goes to grab his face and his face comes off and it's like a skull. Now they're back in Tina's room and Rod's freaking out, man. He starts seeing her chest get slashed there. Oh yeah, part two, very underrated part two, yeah. And Freddy's scary as hell in part two as well as this one, the original, of course. And this scene here is a great effect when you see her like crawling up the ceiling. I mean, that holds up. And I guess when they did that effect, I've seen some of the making of, and they showed that it was a revolving room. Like they can get the blood splattering everywhere. Now, obviously, the evidence points to Rod being the killer. I mean, he's the only one there in the room, and there's blood everywhere. You know, she got slashed, and he has a knife. He has a switchblade. After part three, Freddy was forever changed. Yeah, I get that. And here we have John Saxon, who's in a lot of great movies. Enter the Dragon is one of them. He was really cool in Enter the Dragon too. He's in a couple of Italian Jallos. He was in, I think it was The Girl Who Knew Too Much. And of course, Tenebrae. He was in that. Black Christmas. He was in that. Of course, he was the police chief, just like he is in Nightmare on Elm Street. I noticed a lot of people don't like Bonnie Blakely's performance in here, who plays Nancy's mother. A lot of people have issue with her performance. I sure would like to know what you were doing shopping up with two young teens in the middle of the night. You got a sane explanation for what he did? Yes, yes, David, yes. The ceiling kill was the first kill that shocked me. I was pretty young when I watched it, but even to this day, I feel that holds up. Yeah, absolutely, it holds up. And I love Heather Langham's performance in this movie. She seems legitimately distraught of the death of her friend, you know. I buy into it. I buy into her character 100%, you know. And the mother is pretty crazy though. She basically keeps her a prisoner in the house with the bars and the windows and stuff. Yeah, he did lose his edge for sure. Tina being dragged down the hallway, yeah, yeah. And you see her the scene when she's in the class with the body bag, and that is creepy, man. See the bugs coming out of her mouth and nasty. A friend just died and she's going to school already. I always wonder who the heck this guy is that's watching her from across the street. Is that Freddy or in the suit, the bald dude in the suit? This creepy dude just watching her from the trees. Of course, Rod's on the run, you know. He grabs Nancy. Not good for your reputation, dude. Don't look at me like I'm some fucking fruitcake or something. Real easy, son, like your life depended on it. John Sachs is awesome. I didn't do it. I didn't kill her, Nancy. I say Rod is probably the worst actor in the movie. Probably. What the hell were you doing going to school for anyway? Yeah, that's right, David. Freddy was based on experience Wes Craven had as a kid where he saw a strange man. Yeah, yeah. Imagine the reputation Nancy would have in school after this incident here, where she freaks out in the classroom after her friend just died. Just freaking nutty in front of everybody. In the most high and palmy state of Rome, a little ere the mighty Julius and the sheeted dead did squatter and sob in the Roman streets. I love the scene. Awesome nightmare scene. Here you go, you see Tina in the body bag. That's messed up, man. Yeah, yeah. I know, right? David says. Wonder if that man staring from across the street was based on that experience. Could be. Were it not that I had bad dreams? One of my favorite lines, Freddy lines coming up. It's very sexy. The trail of blood down the school hallway, and you see Tina in the body bag being dragged. It's freaky. It's freaky. Yeah. And then she runs into the girl that has the red and green sweater on. Where's your pass? Hey, Nancy. No running in the hallways. It's freaking awesome. Yeah, even though Freddy was a lot scary and more serious, he still had some few great lines. But yeah, much more serious and sinister Freddy Krueger in the original, no doubt about it. And he's kind of kept to being in the background a lot. You don't really get to see a whole lot of him, which might be some of the problem with them in the sequels. You see too much of him, you know. He loses his mystique. Which is the case for a lot of the horror franchises like Friday 13th and Halloween, of course, same thing. You see him too much, and then it become not as scary anymore because you see him all the time. You lose the mystery of the character somewhat. For those of you just tuning in, we are doing a live stream commentary on the original Nightmare on Elm Street from 1984, directed by Wes Craven, starring the legendary Robert Englund. And today is Robert Englund's birthday, and he's 72 years old today. An absolute icon of the horror genre. And Freddy Krueger, to me, is probably the biggest horror icon ever. I know that's arguable, especially, and that's coming from me, who's the Halloween guy. Simply because everybody knows Freddy. Everybody in the world. You could be living under a rock and you know who Freddy Krueger is. It was an awesome scene. Here we are back in the boiler room, and Freddy's having his first encounter with Nancy Thompson. He's about to stab her, but she wakes herself up by burning herself on the oil, on the burning, steaming hot pipe. And that wakes her up, and she has a nutty in the classroom. Come to Freddy. Full length poster on the bedroom door. Nice. Look at this guy in the class. Look like he's about 30. Dude with the glasses. Yeah, that was a case in a lot back in the 80s when they did these horror movies. Like the teenager characters always look like they're 25, 30. Made you take it down. What? That's not right, man. And there we see the burn mark on her arm is real. It really happened. Blurring the lines between dream and reality. That's the brilliance of Nightmare on Elm Street. And yes, I think this is a brilliant film with a brilliant concept, brilliantly directed by Wes Craven, the late, great Wes Craven. Now Nancy's visiting Rod in jail when he's been charged with the murder of Tina. But she believes him, she knows he didn't do it. She knows that it's Freddy. She just can't prove it to anybody. That's the whole problem. Who's gonna believe that and a killer that stalks you in a dream and people die for real, who the hell's gonna believe that? And then Rod begins to tell her that he had the same dream, about the guy with he had razors for a knife. Um it was 4 razors cutting all at once. I thought it was just another nightmare. There was this guy. He had knives for fingers. Mhm. Now she really knows what's going on. But you shouldn't have left him there, Nancy, because now We know what happens to Rod, don't we? Oh, here we go. The classic scene, the bathtub. Which again, yeah, they tried to redo the scene and the remake. Yeah, it did not work. It was not as effective. Can you imagine that though? That's pretty messed up. Claws coming up right on her by her crotch. That's freaky, man. That's just all kinds of wrong. Yes, Nancy falls asleep in the bathtub and the mother does try and warn her, even though it's like, what? She says, oh, it happens all the time. People drown in the bathtub. I love when they show him Freddy pull her under, and it's a really cool effect there. He pulls her under, and it's like almost another world down there underneath the bathtub. And yeah, you get to see naked Nancy there, but I'm sure that's not Heather Langenkamp, and that I would think she would have been too young to do that nude scene there. It's probably a body double, I'm sure. If that is her, that's pretty impressive. But I would think she was too young there. She actually does look like a teenager there. Like she's definitely not 25 like a lot of them. She looks like she's probably about 17. Yeah, Rod looked like he was 30. Totally. Love how she's watching The Evil Dead right there. See Bruce Campbell smashing the doors. The Evil Dead smashing right through them. It's classic. So nice little homage there to Sam Raimi from Wes Craven. I love when they do that, little nods to showing respect to other classics. I always used to wonder, like, what's that movie that she's watching? Till I saw Evil Dead. I freaking loved it. Springs back memories, doesn't it? Those old house phones with the cords, the big tube TVs. Yeah, yeah, that's right. He had Freddy's glove hanging up in the background. I think that was Evil Dead 2, right? In the shed where he got his chainsaw and stuff. Yeah, Raimi returned the favor. That was really cool. Rod killed Tina, you know that. Yeah, bullshit, you know he didn't. He has the same nightmares too. He's in denial about it. Woo! Whatever you do, don't fall asleep. He didn't listen very well, did he? Another really cool nightmare scene when she's walking across the lawn, the fog in the air, the mist and the darkness. So beautifully shot. This movie's loaded with atmosphere, you know. You just don't get much better than this, you know. This is horror at its best. You got a great director like Wes Craven who knows what he's doing. And he has a vision, and that vision is fully realized in this film. It's just brilliant, you know. I tell you, people are gonna be watching this movie 100 years from now. People are still gonna be watching the original Nightmare on Elm Street. I think it'll probably be even more recognized because it holds up so well, you know. Yeah, there's a couple little scenes where the effects are a little spotty, but for the most part, this movie holds up fantastic. Like because of the way it's shot and filmed. I love the scenery. I love that West was a horror master, yet everyone only says how sweet of a man he was. Yeah. Yeah, he always seemed like a really nice, down to earth kind of dude. You never heard a bad word about him, you know? It wasn't like one of these people that has the skeletons in the closet that come out, you know? Granted, he did direct the porno film. Yeah, it might have been a little wild when he was young, you know? But you could tell he was a nice guy. There you go. Freddy's creeping in the jail to get Rod. I like when he looks up at Nancy up in the window. Ah. That's a good dream. You get a good look at Freddy there. One of the few times you get a really good shot of him there in the movie. Yes, Tina. Nancy. Nancy. Ugh. Snakes crawling out of her body. Wes always seems soft spoken and nice, yeah. Wherever Wes Carpenter comes across as brash and sometimes snooty is yeah, he does, doesn't he? Great young cast. I do think Heather is probably the weakest of the cast member. Weakest? Really? Love that music. Nancy, help me, please. Save me from Freddy. Freaking awesome. This is just a dream. He isn't real. This is just a dream. He isn't real. That's freaking awesome. A Dylan Mentis review says Heather isn't bad at all. Some like readings still make me laugh, like in the dream when she goes, "God damn it." It makes a great visual when he slashes the pillow and throws the feathers all around the room while he's trying to kill her. I mean, I don't know if he's trying to actually kill her. He just might be just messing with her, you know. What'd you do? You fell asleep. Chump stain, you rely on this guy? What's wrong with this Johnny Depp dude? He's useless. Freaking Johnny Depp, man. Here comes mom all boozed up. She's a boozer in this movie. Maybe I should grab that bottle and veg out with you. Comes Nancy and Glenn running to the police station. See Rod because she knows what's up. She saw it in the dream. Here we go. Rod's about to get a visit from Freddy. This is a cool effect too. The bed sheet rolled up and going around his neck and stuff. It's pretty cool. It's an unsolved murder, and I don't like unsolved murders, especially ones that my daughter's mixed up in. The mom would be a great drag character. Never thought of that. Probably would too. She got a funny look about her. I mean, yeah, I could easily see that. See her in the club, like singing and stuff with her robe on, a bottle of booze in her hand. You could see the wire in the bed. I never noticed that. Ooh. I mean, yeah, this was a low budget movie, you know, but they think they did a great job at what they little they had to work with. Certainly, it's all about the camera work, you know, and the characters. They didn't have a lot of money for the effects, you know. They did what they could, but they did a great job with the makeup, you know. It's mostly with the music and the camera work that make it so great, and the characters, and obviously Robert Englund's performance. I mean, I still can't see anybody else as Freddy. I can't accept anyone else as Freddy. I'm sorry. Robert Englund is Freddy Krueger, damn it. This guy right here. Robert freaking Englund as Freddy Krueger. That's the only one that matters. And the mother's in such denial. I mean, don't you think there's something weird going on? These kids are dropping like flies, you know? Seeing somebody else killed Tina? Well, don't you think something else is going on? You know, Rod's dead now. You can't blame him anymore. Like, not the actual wire, but you can see the imprint. I love the low budget effects so much better than CGI, especially using the spandex for him going through the bedroom wall. Hmm. Oh, I hear you, David. I would love to see that. See him have one more run as Freddy, you know? One more movie, I would love it. And I say bring Heather back too. Heather and Robert Englund going at it one more time. Perfect, you know? That's the way it should be, you know? And have that be like the last one ever, you know? Go out on a high note. But, you know, Wes Craven's gone now, so that's who would you get to direct this thing? I mean, yeah, he only directed 2 out of the series, but it'd be no Nightmare on Elm Street if it wasn't for Wes Craven, obviously. Yeah, but, you know, how many times did Jamie Lee Curtis die in the series? You know? We can just ignore part 3, you know? Halloween did it. Why can't Elm Street do it? It could just be a sequel to the original movie. That's she could come back as like a dream warrior spirit. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good idea. Yeah, she could be in the dream world. Says Dylan Mentis reviews. What the hell are dreams anyway? Incredible body hocus pocus, says Charles Fleischer, the voice of Roger Rabbit. Yes. Please, Eddie. Retcons part 2 through 7 and do a new part 2. Yeah, exactly. Why not? You know, everyone else is doing it. Leprechaun did that. Texas Chainsaw has tried to do that a couple times. Didn't really work out for that, but I think it could work. I do. Yeah, go the 2018 route. Yeah, exactly. Screw it. I honestly think that could work better than 20 Halloween 2018, you know. I think it'd be even more I could be even more intense, you know, if it's done right, you know. I think people would freak, you know, I think people would flip their lids if you saw Nancy back and Robert Englund. Can you imagine how people would lose their minds, you know? But I mean, Robert Englund is 72 years old, so, you know, it would be hard. It would be difficult for him, you know. Could he pull it off? Yeah, I mean, he seems like a pretty healthy guy, you know. He doesn't have any, you know, trouble walking or anything or seems like he's in pretty good shape. He's not like all out of shape or anything. Looks like he's in pretty good shape and he can pull it off, you know. He doesn't have to do the physical scenes, you know, he could have a stunt double do that. Just like they do in Halloween, you know. Or a lot of the others, you know, even the Friday 13th, they have Like even Kane Hodder has stunt double, you know. I love a nightmare series set in the 80s, little Stranger Things vibe, but its own things. You could cherry pick storylines and characters from the movies, yeah. I'm all for that. you know. Little 80s throwback, yeah. He's after us in our dreams. That's just not reality, Nancy. It's real, Mama. Feel it. Shows her the hat that she pulled off Freddy's head in her dream. So that shows that you can bring the dream to reality, you know? And that's why people have such a problem with part two and what they do with that, you know? It's, oh, it delves so much from the original, but she pulled his hat out of the dream. Freddy comes out of the dream into reality at the end there. So why can't he come out of, why can't he possess people and people get all mad about part two, the way they, did something a little different. So what? You're dealing with a, a character from your nightmares, You gotta suspend some disbelief. You act like I made it up. It's just a nightmare. That's enough. I was like that shot when they're walking across that bridge. I wonder, where is that? And she talks about she got the book on booby traps. That's right. She does her research. That's why I like her. She's not gonna go down like she's gonna go down fighting. She's gonna prepare. She's gonna do all she can to fight off the maniac known as Freddy Krueger. Fred Krueger, Mom. Fred Krueger. What if they meet a monster in their dream? Well, I guess those people don't wake up to tell about it. Do you ever watch the Horrors Hollow Grounds with Sean Clark? Yes, I have watched those. I really enjoy that when they go all to all the different sets of where they film the movies and stuff. Yeah, he did a Nightmare on Elm Street episode. I saw that. I'm into survival. James Moss is here. Welcome, welcome, James Moss. How's it going? In case you just joined us out there in YouTube land, we are doing live stream commentary on the original Nightmare on Elm Street from 1984. Great year for movies. Same year of the original Terminator. A lot of other good ones too. Yeah, those are my two favorite right there. Nightmare on Elm Street and the original Terminator from 1984. Security, Mom? Security from what? Aha, so you do know something, Mom. You're not telling us. Come down to the cellar with me and I'll show you. She's got Freddy's glove hidden in the furnace. You want to know who Fred Krueger was? He was a filthy child murderer who killed at least 20 kids in the neighborhood. Kids we all knew. Oh, Mom. It drove us crazy when we didn't know who it was, but it was even worse after they caught him. Yes, R.I.P. John Saxon, indeed. Great actor, a lot of great movies. Bunch of us parents tracked him down after they let him out. We found him in an old abandoned boiler room where he used to take his kids. We took gasoline, poured it around the whole place, made a trail of it out the door, lit the whole thing up and watched it burn. But he can't get you, Nancy. He's dead, honey, 'cause Mommy killed him. I even took his knives. There she is with Freddy's glove. My favorite scene is when Johnny Depp's character is killed by Freddy and his blood coming out of the bed. Yeah, that is awesome. One of the bloodiest death scenes. That's got to be right. How many buckets and gallons of blood did they use? Fake blood did they use in the scene? This is Johnny Depp with his glorious half shirt. Remember when people wore half shirts? You look like the prisoner of Zinder or something. No, she's got a streak of gray hair from her dreams. Yeah. And if he gets me, I'm pretty sure you're next. He is next, actually. Just like I did the hat, have a hold of the sucker, and when you wake me up, you can't bring somebody out of a dream. Well, she brought his hat out, didn't she? I can save you the trouble. You're nutty as a fruitcake, but I love you anyway. Yes, James. Yes, Heather Langenkamp is excellent as Nancy Thompson. Right here, brother. Bam, Heather Langenkamp. Someday I'm gonna get Robert Englund to sign this. It's one of my prized possessions. Along with Jamie Lee Curtis's autograph, I have hers too. That's my ultimate prized possession. Body glove. I noticed that poster on the wall he has. You know what other poster he has on the wall? Rush, Grace Under Pressure. I love that freaking album. I love Rush. Big Rush fan. I like the poster for the original. Yeah, it's awesome, dude. It's awesome. Glenn's about to get it. Much better than Rooney Mara. Oh god, dude. For real. Funny thing is, Rooney Mara is pretty good actress in other movies. You know. Oh, we got Arthur Brimmer in the chat. Welcome, welcome everybody to the chat tonight. Everyone who's joined us tonight. We had the late horror show earlier. We had Movie Massacre. We had Hellhound from the Horror Metal channel. We had Have Cheatable View, David's Horror. You got Rush 1984 album Grace Under Pressure on cassette tape. Did you notice the poster on the wall there in Johnny Depp's room? I always notice stuff like that in the movies. I was, oh, look at the Slayer poster in the back, or look at the there's a certain horror movie on the wall or something. You know, I always notice those things, little details. The devil is in the details, so they say. Reunited apart spoof. I didn't see that. She did show a little side boob there, though. And that is her. Maybe it was her in that bathtub scene. I'm not sure. Was she old enough to do that? Even that little scene there. Glenn's father's guys just seems like a real dick. I don't care. I don't care what you say. I don't want our son hanging out with that kid. She's some kind of lunatic or something. And then he takes the phone off the hook, dickhead. Yeah, see, she cut him in the. She got cut for real. David Tara says he's got to get going, has to get up extra early tomorrow morning. Thanks for hanging out, Sean. Thank you for joining us tonight, David. Thank you. David's Horror. Everybody check out David's Horror channel. Everybody check out all the great YouTube channels that showed up in the chat tonight. Movie Massacre. Last week, 2 DVD movies that I ordered on Amazon came in. One is the 1985 film The Stuff, and the other one is the 1990 film Tales from the Dark Side. Yeah, nice. Both good ones. I just watched The Stuff a couple weeks ago for the first time. Yeah, it's a wild movie. Very interesting. Very private and very important. Glenn's asleep. You're not going to talk to him tomorrow. You just got to be firm with these kids. Guy's such a dick. Wasn't for him, maybe Glenn would still be alive, right? Glenn, don't fall asleep. Here we go, the phone call. I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy. Hey, what's up? Bronco Juggalo talks movies in the house. Hey, brother, we are watching Trampa Inferno. What the heck's that? We almost did it live. Haven't heard of that one. But welcome, Bronco Juggalo. We got Brad from Bronco Juggalo Talks Movies in the house. What's going on, dude? We're right at the scene where the phone's calling Nancy, and he just said, I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy. She ripped the phone cord out of the wall and it's still ringing. With the tongue. It's freaking awesome. Love it. The old house phones. An awesome Mexican slasher, says Bronco Juggalo. Oh, a Mexican slasher, huh? James Moss says I got the Toxic Avenger on VHS. Got my hoodie vid coming soon. Nice. You mean the hoodie with from my merch store there? Nice. Strange Monkey Reviews ordered the t-shirt. This is Kate. Oh, there goes Glenn under the bed. Mom, help! It's a really cool effect. I saw how they did that in the making of one of the making of things. They come to gallons and gallons and gallons of blood. Volcano explosion of blood everywhere. It's sick, man. Really is an awesome effect, man. Blood pouring all over the ceiling, dripping from the ceiling. Really, really freaking cool effect. Love it. I love it. The Cleveland Browns will go to the Super Bowl next year. Is that he's saying that because Bronco Juggalo is in the house? Brad might differ with you there. Dan Thompson, I've never seen anything like this before. Yeah, you think? There's Nancy looking from the other across the street. Genome presents. Hello, hello. Genome presents. Welcome. We got Bronco Juggalo in the house. We got Genome presents. We got James Moss. Thank you all for joining me tonight here on the Nightmare on Elm Street live watch along. I've seen several of Genome Presents videos. They've done a lot of the Hammer horror watch alongs, like the Dracula series. I always enjoy that. Yep, Nancy's setting up the traps now, the booby traps. I've got a proposition for you. Tell me you did it, baby. Fred Krueger, and he's like, oh, geez, here she goes again. Janelle Presents says I reviewed all of the Nightmare on Elm Streets a year or so ago. I'm still not finished doing them. I've been on YouTube for like 8 years, and I still haven't done all the Nightmare on Elm Streets. I've done up to 4. I still haven't done New Nightmare yet. That's gonna be my next one. New Night. Actually, no, I haven't done 5 yet, so I gotta do 5 and then New Nightmare. I did 1, 2, 3, and 4. Nancy's mom is a drunk. Yep, that she is. Pretty rough, but at least the series isn't too long, eh? Yep. There are much longer franchises than Elm Street. You got Amityville Horror. That thing never freaking ends. You got the what's the one I was talking about the other day on the live stream? Here she goes. She's setting up the traps now with the wire so you can trip on it. Loading the light bulbs full of like explosives, shotguns, shotgun bullets. Like when she sets up the sledgehammer. It's cool shit. Nancy's going to get Freddy, yeah. Go, Nancy, go, Nancy. She's badass. I love it. She's fighting back against all odds, against the monster who's killing all her friends. This is what makes her one of the best final girls. You know, she does her research. You know, she knows the final act of this flick is really a letdown. Yes, I know. I talked about that the other day. I know, but I can't disagree with you. Yeah, to me, it's like almost a perfect film, except for that last scene. We'll get into that, believe me. You face things. That's your nature. That's your gift. Put the bottle down, lady, okay? Put the bottle down. You damn boozer. Your daughter is in crisis here, and you're laying in bed getting wasted. God, do something to help, will you? Get off your ass. You think bars on the windows gonna keep Freddy out? Freddy Krueger, played by the great Robert Englund, whose birthday is today, 72 years old. Happy birthday, Robert Englund. Happy birthday to you. Horror icon. Let me ask you guys in the chat this. What is your favorite Robert Englund performance outside of A Nightmare on Elm Street? There's a lot of good ones. Probably not the Mangler, you know. That was ill-advised. Robert Englund is brilliant as Freddy Krueger, says James Moss. Absolutely. Absolutely. Great shot of her and they're in bed there, about to go to sleep and drag Freddy into the real world with her. Another awesome dream sequence here. Smiley and the Avengers of Ford Fairlane. Oh, I forgot about that. Andrew Dice Clay. I saw him in a movie recently. I was like, he's pretty good in this. I'm like, I can't remember what it was, but Robert Englund was in an episode of Married with Children. Yeah, that's right. She went to grab Freddy's glove from the furnace, but it's gone. You know why? Because it's on his hand. Yes, the Phantom of the Opera. I like that one. I think I like that better than the original because it had the blood and gore, you know. And Robert Englund was really good in that, I thought. A long time since I've seen it too. I can't remember. I gotta revisit that one. I used to rent it on VHS all the time, back in the day. I like how she hears the voices calling out to her. You dreamed about the same creep eyed. She hears Glenn and Tina in the background. And that's Freddy just messing with her, getting inside her head with all the people that he killed. Might have to be a live watch party, eh? Yeah, yeah. I like to get in on one of those Hammer films you guys are doing. Got any more in the pipeline coming up? Perhaps the. Oh wait, you didn't do. What's that one? The final Dracula film, Hammer Dracula film. Why can't I think of the name of it? Seven. I know it's. I know one name of it is the Seven Brothers of Dracula, but it's got another name too. The more popular name. Seven. Damn it. Seven. Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires. Have you done that one yet? With Chris Lee in them. Okay. But you have to count that one because Dracula is in it, and Peter Cushing is in it as Van Helsing. A lot of people don't count that one though, because it's so wacky. Probably, you got Kung Fu meets freaking Dracula, Shaw Brothers. Who the hell came up with that idea? I think they did. They actually tried to get Christopher Lee to do that movie too, but he turned it down. He's like, "Nah, I'm done." Probably a wise decision. The guy that played him in the movie wasn't very convincing. But unfortunately, it does count because Dracula is in the film, and Van Helsing is in the film as well. I still gotta get around to reviewing that one. It's gonna be tough. Come out and show yourself, you bastard. No, but you haven't done the Frankenstein movies. Curse of Frankenstein. Revenge of Frankenstein. Oh, I love that when you see her falling from the sky and stuff. Freaking love this movie. Where are you, Kroger? I'm here. When he comes out from behind the bush. Bitch. Ah, now she's back in her bed. She thinks she's still. She thinks she is done dreaming, but she's not yet. Or is she? I'm crazy after all. Oh, that's awesome. Tina's death in this movie may be the greatest in horror film history. Wow, says Genome Presents. Yeah, it's up there. That's a great scene. Out here he goes. He's trying to get through the door with that sledgehammer ready to go. Freddy's here. He's here. Yeah, I've heard of the wrestler Ox Baker, of course. Guess what movie he was in? Escape from New York. Ox Baker fought um Kurt Russell's character. They were in the ring and everything, you know. Did you know that, James Moss? Oh, he falls off the stairs. Come on, Freddy. Can you catch me? I'll split you in two. uh, maybe I better go get the lieutenant. Yeah, you think? You might want to do that. She gets some good here. I'll kill you slow. Uh, no, no, no. Bastard's on fire. Freddy's on fire once again. Great stunt here, huh? The man must have been tough. He's on fire for quite a while. Oh. Dude is burnt to a freaking crisp. But this is Freddy we're talking about. He's not really alive anyway, you know, technically. Anything can happen. As we know in the world of horror, anything is possible. That's why we have a Nightmare on Elm Street 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. We got a trail of fire leading up to the mother's bedroom. Yep, Freddy's going after Nancy's mom. He's still there in bed with her. He's still on fire. I like this scene here. It's kind of cool. You know, see the mother slowly going down into the bed to her death. You know, it's kind of ominous. You know, she kind of waves at her. You know, she's just gone. That's it. No trace of her. Now, do you believe me? And the father's like, "What the hell is going on?" And then when he comes back in the third one, he still doesn't believe her. Like, you still don't believe her after all that? Fred Krueger is dead, Nancy. You always did have a little trouble believing that. Remember in part 3? Like, after this, you still don't believe her? You just saw him. I do like this part just before Freddy goes to lash at him. When he comes up out of the bed, you know. A pretty cool effect. You could see his bloody face and these claws through the bed sheet. I mean, he looks really cool, you know, all burnt to a friggin' crisp. You thought you was gonna get away from me. Now you die. It's too late, Krueger. I know the secret now. This is just a dream. You're not alive. This whole thing is just a dream. You're nothing. You what? I take back every bit of energy I gave you. You're shit. This is the part that I'm like, oh man, when he goes to stab her in the back, he disappears into that weird blue mist. It looks terrible. And when she walks out the door, it's all bright and beautiful and sunny out, and everybody's back alive. You know, her mother's alive. Feeling better? Oh, I feel like $1,000,000. You know, they say you blacked out when you can't remember the night before. It's just, I mean, I don't have a problem with what happens here. It's the budget that went into the scene, right? I mean, man, that looks rough when Freddy comes through the door and grabs the mother. It looks so fake. All their friends are back, huh? They're all alive, and then you see the top of the car, and it's Freddy's red and green colors there. The red car. And they're locked inside. Mother! Mother! 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better luck. Shh. Oh my god, it looks so bad. Damn it, this movie is so close to perfect if it wasn't for that little scene there. At any rate, it's still a damn masterpiece. The original Nightmare on Elm Street is one of the greatest horror movies of all time. I don't care what you say. Best in the franchise, in my opinion, by far. Brilliant direction by Wes Craven. Brilliant score by Charles Bernstein. Loaded with atmosphere. It's scary. It's the characters are great. You know, I love all the characters. It's just awesome. Great performances from Nancy Thompson, played by Heather Langenkamp, and of course Robert Englund as the legendary Freddy Krueger is just freaking amazing. It's a nightmare. It's just a dream. No, it's a nightmare. It's just a dream. Genome Presents says best in the series for me too. Maybe the only film where you actually feel some dread when they go to sleep. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely a sense of dread. Because Freddy is actually scary in this movie, you know? I just noticed that. Special thanks to Sean Cunningham, Sam Raimi. Never noticed that before. He even gave a shout out to Sean Cunningham, director of Friday the 13th. Matthew Duffy in the chat says my favorite in the series, and I like the dreamlike ending. And that's it, guys. That's A Nightmare on Elm Street from 1984. That was a fun time, guys. Had a blast. Thanks everyone for joining me in the chat tonight, and thanks for watching out there in YouTube land. And that was fun. I'm glad I got a chance to make up for the other day when I tried to do a stream and it didn't quite work out. Do review the Wes Craven film Shocker. It's a good idea. Yeah, that's another one I haven't seen in a long time. I haven't seen Shocker since it came out. 1980, what was that, 1987? No. Man, that's a long time ago. Yeah, I gotta see that one again. Yeah, I would like to do a review on that. There's so many movies I wanna do a review on, you know? I gotta go back and do the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies too. I did a couple of them on my previous channel, but that channel's gone, so, yeah, I need to go back and redo some of those original reviews I did, like The Shining I did, and Alien, and stuff like that. I did go back and do a couple of 'em. I went and redid The Howling and Elm Street, the original Elm Street. But yes, I do plan on doing a lot of those. So yeah, thanks you guys for joining me tonight. That was so much fun, you know. Maybe I'll do another one. Maybe I'll do Elm Street 2 next time, you know. Freddy's Revenge, the controversial Freddy's Revenge. That'd be a lot of fun too. And it's definitely some of the best Freddy scenes in Elm Street Part 2 for sure. So that'd be an interesting discussion, yeah. But I had a lot of fun talking about this. This is one of my favorite horror films of all time, the original Nightmare on Elm Street from 1984, directed by the late great Wes Craven, starring Heather Langenkamp and the legendary Robert Englund. So happy birthday, Robert Englund, 72 years old today. I was so happy to be able to celebrate that along with all you guys out there on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Tune in and stay scared. Thank you for joining me, Sean Patrick Urshan, in the Horror Corner. Peace out, guys. Have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Don't have a case on the Mondays.